have you noticed that because of mediation, the
Yeah.
couples decide to go ahead with the divorce?
How many
What is
times?
the ratio?
Yeah.
Yeah, on an average.
You see, there is nothing hard and fast. Nothing hard and fast. Every situation is different. So therefore, if I say 50%, uh, may be partially correct. If I say they go 70% and 30%, it may be correct in a situation. So my success rate, and believe you me, I have been doing matrimonial mediations as well, mostly matrimonial mediations. My success rate varies from 40 to 55%, always. You know, I do a lot of corporate mediations. I have done the toughest ones and succeeded. And believe you me, more than the corporate mediations, the matrimonial mediations are the toughest. And therefore, since I handle many matrimonial mediations, my success rate is my thing is 40 to 55%. So that would be my take on it. There, there are mediators and mediators, but this is my case. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Any other question?
Maybe one more. Maybe one
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
Uh, if one wants to be a mediator,
yeah.
what are the qualifications that one should go for, and how many years of training, and what is the process really to
Are
be
you
a
a lawyer?
mediator?
Are you a lawyer?
Okay, I'm
Are
not a
you
lawyer.
okay? You
I'm a
see, you are a
I'm a designer,
okay,
but I've been an active agony aunt for eternity.
okay. Now I'll tell you. As of now, mostly the mediations are happening in courts, right? Court annexed mediations.
Right,
Institutional mediations are not there. Not many institutions are there. So by default, all most of the mediators are lawyers who have been trained as mediators, right?
right,
Now, it's always an added qualification that if you have done your law, then it's an added qualification that uh, you are offered to be trained as a mediator, right? But
right,
it is not essential. Now, in abroad, there are chartered accountants, there are architects, there are other professionals who have become mediators, and they mediate in their respective fields. So, in India hasn't arrived as of now at that level, but certainly abroad, yes, even that is possible, right? So
right.
if your question is with respect to India, as of now, I don't see many opportunities for you as a trained mediator. You can always take a 40-hour training, but those trainings are restricted to normally in the High Court you have to have 10 years of standing, and only then you can be, you know, selected to be trained as a mediator. The line is, waiting list is like too much nowadays. 300
Right.
waiting, 500 waiting right now, and in the High Court and Delhi High Court. District Court also same situation because now people have realized the importance. Unfortunately, wrong purpose. Now they feel that this is a very important work. The judges, it is almost like being a judge, although it is not. The judges who are not able to handle, they refer the matters to us, mediators. So they are coming in for the glamour and the stamp of it, not for the actual, service. So
Right.
now these people have also smuggled themselves in, unfortunately. But any field you may be, money is part of it that you should be paid for it. but your driving force should always be service to humanity. If that is not there, then you shouldn't become a mediator, honestly, right? If you are only
Absolutely.
there to make money, then there are hundreds and other ways to make money.
And so when the couple has approached the court for divorces and stuff, do they have a choice to choose a mediator? Or is it that a mediator is assigned to them?
You see, in the scenario of Delhi High Court and district courts, uh, and in the crime against women cell, when there I used to go, I don't know about other states, but mostly in Delhi High Court, the mediators are assigned by the organizing secretary, looking into the nature of the case and the complexity, the how much senior mediator is required, right?
Right.
How much the dispute is complicated. So, but you can always approach the center or the crime against women cell or other centers that yes, I would like to have certain person as a mediator, because mediator is a neutral person. He has to or she has to declare that, even though so and so person has chosen me, but I am declaring that he or she has chosen me, and if you want, I will not conduct the mediation. Even that, to that extent, the precaution is taken, right? And
Right.
technically mediator can't do anything. What he is to do, he has doesn't have to pass an order. His job is to assist the parties to come to a settlement, right? Even if a
Right.
mediator is known to party A or to party B, to my mind, once he declares that, makes the declaration and is acceptable to the other side, the mediator has only to assist. He is not to pass an order like a judge, pay 5 or 50 lakh or 50 crores to wife or husband as damages. Both the
Right.
parties agree, they come to a settlement. He only assists them, right? So,
But a mediator
yeah,
doesn't really contribute in a judge's decision to grant divorce or to go ahead and not go ahead, right? A
certainly not.
mediator's
Certainly not.
got it.
Certainly not, because whatever remains, happens in mediation room, remains in mediation room.
Okay.
Yeah. The confidentiality of mediation. Yeah. Any other question? And
Yeah,
that
is
is
the
the,
mediation room?
I'll just add something. The beauty or the USP of mediation is that only. I mentioned that in my talk, that no court in India will call a mediator to give evidence in favor of A party or B party or C party. It is a confidential procedure, right?
Is mediation the time period, the 6 months that you get before filing a divorce case? Is that the 6 month period that you're talking about?
No, you see, technically you cannot file a divorce. 1 year is there. That period can be waived off by the courts, I guess. Uh, but the thing is, all these cases which come, if they come immediately after marriage, soon after marriage, we entertain them. But everything has to be within the parameters of law. If there is a legal bar that you cannot have get a divorce before 1 year, that you cannot. But certainly you can start the negotiation before 1 year and
Okay.
talk in a pre-litigation stage, right? And as soon as
Right.
that 1 year period is over, you can get into a settlement and then go for a divorce by mutual consent.
Right.
Yeah. Any other question?
So I have my sister on the phone. I'd be like, because she got locked out. So she's
Yeah.
asking, how does one engage a mediator? Do both parties have to come together?
Well, again, in the court annex thing, we have a pre-litigation mediation. You can apply there, and they can assign automatically any mediator. But if you have a choice, then you can request the centers concerned, and they may be willing to accommodate you. The other is uh, you can yes approach the mediator directly as well. Uh, there is no law in India right now that mediator cannot provide, like there is ad hoc arbitration, so there can be ad hoc mediation as well. Yes, both the parties have to approach the mediator, only then a mediation can take place. In fact, a
And
mediation
sir,
takes place only when both the parties agree.
okay. And sir, how do things work if the couples are Indian citizens residing abroad?
You see, there is something ODR mediation as well, online dispute resolution, which is not, which is at a very beginning stage in India. There are issues of confidentiality, but now uh, things are again opening up. Mediation is also marching and matching up to the situations which are cropping up. The Delhi High Court Mediation Center is also has come out with a ODR, so you can approach there. You can approach a mediator directly and agree. You know, nobody can stop you from entering into a negotiation and then formalizing it into a kind of an agreement. And you said which law will prevail? Well, if it is authored and signed in India, you know, the Indian law will prevail. If they are Indians, if they are residents abroad and or they are citizens abroad, then of course the situs will be it is the situs will be respective places, but the personal law, I guess, will again the same. To Hindu law, Hindu law will apply. To Sikh, the Sikh protocol will apply, and to Muslims, the personal law will apply. Yeah. Are you
Okay, sir.
that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Any other question anybody has?
Have you handled any, I mean, cases of alcohol abuse, since you didn't really speak much about alcohol, and what is the success rate? Do you see people improving? If you could throw some light on
Yeah.
someone with alcohol addiction.
Point is uh, range of range of sources of dispute, not only alcohol. I'm a trainer as well, uh, trained from UK, US, as well as India, of course. And crime against women cell, you think alcoholism would not be there? Every every fourth case was that, right? So uh, uh, I didn't speak on you know particular topics because I was addressing a larger issue. I've handled yes alcoholism also. In fact, I'm currently handling one. And what is the success rate? Success rate is, like any other mediation, it takes a little bit more of a sensitivity. Well, in all cases, sensitivity is needed. But uh, it's the how the mediator handles it. It's relating to habit, and you have to. I'll tell you how I handle things. I when ha- I have the confidence of the concerned person, then I make him see the issue, and more often than not, he or she agrees with that, and agrees that that this is there, and he would or she would like to give it up as well. So I will say most of the cases are they're willing to give up, but It's a habit. It goes while it goes. One. The other is there are some chronic cases. Well, you can't, it's a mediation is not a magic wand that you wave it and the problem goes. So, yes, you can work on it. And let me tell you, sometimes I don't say we fail the mediation, we close the mediation. And when we close the mediation, parties come back. Subconsciously, it is working on their mind. They come back after 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, and they say, "Sir, I agree with you. Now I'm ready for it." So, and many wonders have happened. I will not name the mediation. I will. It was not a alcoholism, very chronic case. The guy was abroad. The girl was in India. She came back to India. A lot of abuse, and daughter of a very senior inspector general of police, whatever, powerful guy. Daughter, she was daughter. Now chronic and behavioral issues on both sides. I closed the mediation. They came back after some time, and I know I can name the judge at least. Justice Sistani was there, uh, and there was a full court was to happen, and I settled the matter. I was in the process of writing the settlement with the assistance of the parties. I sent a message through a lawyer to the judge that it is being settled. We'll sign it and come back. The parties will come back. Please don't leave for the day. He was surprised. He said, I'll wait as long as it is required. He did his full court meeting, waited, and ultimately it was signed, settled, and taken on record by the honorable judge. So, such type of. Now, this was an abuse, a very hard abuse matter, ultimately settled, came back. It didn't happen in first shot, but it happened later. So, alcoholism is one of the things. And then we can always take the help of the experts in that area if need be. But with the grace of God, the most chronic cases I've been able to resolve on my own. I am very wary of using experts because you would have noticed that my style is totally different. The the regular psychologist or experts, they tend to handle things in a very theoretical way, and matrimony or these things are not theoretical. They shouldn't be handled.
Mhm.
Yes, you should not have you should have the technical knowledge, but I sometimes whomsoever I've referred to, I have really cursed myself that why the hell did I do it?
Oh,
They,
really?
yeah, they spoil sometimes. I'm sorry to say. It's a very
I
strong.
mean,
Not
yeah, I believe.
everybody is like that. Not everybody is like that. But my experiences, they start talking theoretical, which is a
Yeah, I believe a
disaster.
lot of them have relapses.
What? What is that?
They have. I said, I believe. I mean, a lot of them, which I know, also they've
Yeah.
like had relapses. So they went to rehab for whatever
Oh,
addiction.
yeah. You know, mediation only happens. I am talking of transformation.
Right.
Transformation will happen in mediation. We ask you not to sign unless you are mentally ready for it. There's a transformation already happened within. If the transformation has not happened, and if you sign at the asking of the mediator, or what would somebody else say, or what would my lawyer say, or how much fee you have already paid to your lawyer, then though on those considerations, don't sign. No problem. You may have 100 hearings. No problem. Only sign
Hmm.
when. So once that happened, In the High Court and the cases I know, and the CAW cell, you know, 0.0001% भी नहीं है cases who have come back, because the transformation has been, touch wood, perfect. There have been some relapses, but not many. Out of 1,000, maybe 5. So, any other question?
Yeah. Yes, sir. My sister wants to ask a question.
Yeah, sure.
We ask. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
How does one engage a mediator privately?
That's
you mentioned during discourse, you mentioned it during the speech that either one goes through the court but one of the options that you also mentioned was privately. So I just wanted a little more elaboration on that.
If you are abroad and if you're in the US and UK, Singapore, and maybe even Dubai and some Western countries, there are good mediators you'll find online, and but go to a very good and a seasoned mediator, please. Don't go to a theoretical mediator. So you can approach them in those countries, and they will be happy to assist you. In India, you uh, you have to come. There are pre-litigation centers in district court and high court. You approach them as well, and they will happy to help you. And if you really want a private mediator, well, as on date, you can come to a mediator directly as well, and it will work only if the other partner is ready to join the mediation. In all the cases, in fact.
So I believe the problem that these people face, like I've often heard my friends overseas as well,
Yeah.
that a lot of these Western mediators, they are not familiar with the Indian mindset. I believe when it comes to marriages, there are quite a lot of typical behaviors which are prevalent in the Indian psyche, like how a man expects a woman to be. These and that is what causes a major issue, which the Westerners cannot understand. So I believe that is the reason why one looks for an Indian mediator who's well versed with the scenario here.
I'll tell you what, you are absolutely right. India is India, and Indians are Indians. They have a peculiar way of life, and you scratch them, however westernized they may become, under the skin, they still remain Indians. And I'll give you an example, and I'll name that person, and because it's not about mediation. There was a gentleman called Deepak Oberoi. He was the parliamentary secretary to the foreign minister of Canada. That means practically the deputy foreign minister of Canada. And he was in touch with me. He's passed away recently. He was in touch with me, being an Oberoi. So, he was born in Uganda. He went to UK and lived most of his young life there, and became, with the airlines industry he was working. Then he went to Canada. Then he was 3 times or 4 times member of parliament of Canada. He just passed away last year, unfortunately. Now this person, born in Uganda, stayed in most his life in UK, ultimately went to Canada, became a member of parliament, met me in India in a conference, and that's how we got together. Came to my house. My father was alive at that time. The same accent, the Punjabi. Every area in India, they speak dialect in a particular way.
Right.
So he was never ever stayed in Punjab, right? And the Rawalpindi area, Chakwal area, where we hail from, Oberoi hail from, that gentleman was speaking the same dialect or the same way And my father was quite a expert in recognizing that. Same way, same, same, like, uh, you know, not features,
Like
same,
Hindi,
same,
Hindi, Punjabi.
Punjabi dialect, ਉਹ
Acha.
ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ same ਉਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜੀ, same is
Accent.
mentality as well, like he said, he said, told me, we made a lot of food, lunch for him, and he said, यार मेरा ना पेट टिड खराब है, मैं ना कुछ नहीं खाना. And when he started eating, he ate bloody everything. And so, and dialect same, and we are like lost brothers, so it has happened everywhere. I was in Utah where I went for training. 15 days we were there, or 20 days. Not many Indians in sight. No Sardar in sight, by the way. I'm a Sardar. Only JP Singh ji was there. So one day, I was uh, coming out of my house, the room, and I say, somebody says, "Sat Sri Akal, Paji, ki hal hai?" I said, "Hey, kaun hai? Who's this guy?" Immediate. So we just relate to each other immediately. And Indians and Punjabis and all those guys. So that is it, you know. So I agree with you. There's a dire need. These, nothing against these, technocrat mediators, if I may call them. Uh, you know, so they would just not understand the, Indian psychic, how the husband behaves, father-in-law, mother-in-law. So because they're totally exposed to totally different culture at all. And likewise for us, we won't probably know their 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 thing entirely.
So
Yeah,
then, sir, if one has to look for a mediator who, say, for example, in San Francisco,
yeah.
where my sister resides, how does one really look for it? Because it is like so plausible that you come across somebody who's just probably in it for the money, may not really be seasoned. How does one gauge that? Like, do you have any recommendations? And how much do they charge on an average? What are the fee like usually? And what are the
Okay.
sessions like?
Now let me do a little bit of marketing. Well, if you want me to fly down, I can do that. But nowadays,
Dave, right?
Corona will not
Would not that.
allow me to do that. But I have been around the world. I have been in very difficult countries, Nigeria, Kenya, and in Kenya, even to Mombasa, flown on a bombardier, and
Wow.
yeah, Uzbekistan, you name it, and Nepal, and whatever countries, but and to the Western countries as well. But there are enough mediators, yeah, but there, a tinge of westernization is there. If you will ask me offline, I will guide you. There are some gentlemen I know who can be of great help to you.
Sure, sir.
Yeah,
That sounds great.
yeah. So, anything else?
Sorry. So coming back to my question, I think you were breaking up, so I didn't really completely hear. So you're saying that there've been a couple of cases where people have totally given up drinking.
Miracles are possible. They happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just have to have faith. And believe you me, mediator makes a lot of difference.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I
I
want to
guess,
ask you.
yeah, I mean, a third person
Sorry,
Like the
further
perspective.
surgeon,
on.
like the surgeon makes a lot of difference. A doctor, it depends from doctor to doctor. One doctor you go to, your half the problems are resolved automatically.
True.
And if one
True.
you go to another doctor, you get double that problems added.
That's
So I wanted to ask you something, being a single person right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
Why
sure.
is it that, like, I come across so many couples, in fact, majority of them, being a single person, I've probably counseled so many as if I've lived so many marital lives myself.
Okay.
And what I don't understand and I'm trying to figure out is that what are the perks in getting married? Like, why do people get married in the first place? I'm not a believer of live-ins, to be honest, personally,
Hmm.
but I would like to know from your experience and your maybe personal and professional both. Why do you think people should get married in the first place?
Yeah, because they all complain about compatibility issues by the end of it.
It seems like, this is an institution which has like the maximum failure ratio. So why would still one would get into it?
Well,
Well, probably the
And
then
current generation, not the older
no, no, no,
generation.
no, no,
The
no,
older
no.
generation has been successful.
no,
Okay,
that's not true.
okay,
I
okay.
don't
Let
agree.
me put it in the Indian way. शादी वो लड्डू है जो खाता है वो भी पछताता है, जो नहीं खाता वो भी पछताता है. Okay. Now
Yes.
uh, the point is I a more the it's an institution. mm, Since man came, it's there. One, the other is it's the in thing. Maybe I'm not giving absolute answers. Love, that may be another answer. Everyone does it. That may be another answer. Then why marriage? But the most practical answer I'll tell you is there have been one bachelor, my uncle in my family. He had everything going for him, everything going for him. And till he was young, he was going, he was strong, there was no problem at all. As he grew older, no, how much of boredom, how much of loneliness, how much of how much of boredom, how much of loneliness, how much of how much of insecurity, if I may say so, how much of uh, uh, how much at there comes a point in life when you are not that strong. You need company. You need somebody to somebody should listen to you, shout at you, maybe children. So you ultimately, I used in one of my slides, loneliness is the most terrible poverty. And at the end of his life, when even when he had left his service and everything, still he was man of multiple crores, but lived a very pecuniary life. Where would he eat a breakfast? Where he would have lunch? The kind of lunch he used to have. When he would fall sick, he would not even tell us. Although we wanted to, he was my mama, to be very honest. So we would, I had all regards for him. But how many times he would, every day he would not trouble us. So, these are very practical things. When you reach the pinnacle of your life, you would realize that you should have some. Yes, marriages enter into result into disputes. Yes, you know sons are after fathers and fathers are after sons, and they have disputes. Daughters are suing mothers and fathers, and all those things are there. But that's the way life is. But if you look at from very practical point of view, at the end of the day, in the last years of your life, you do need company. You need somebody to listen to you. That when in those last dying moments, somebody should be there to take care. And yes, ताली एक हाथ से नहीं बजती है हमेशा. Dispute, it's not from starts from one side. Look into yourself, introspect as well, and then blame the other side. So auto correction के लिए भी one should always be ready. Don't blame the other side always. And here comes the experience, the tact of the mediator. how to unfold things slowly and bring both the husband and wife to a point when they are on the same page, and then withdraw slowly from their lives. Okay, any other question? Am I audible? Was I?
That's, I think all of us have run out of questions now.
You have run out of what?
I
Questions.
believe everybody's run out of questions. Yes, I think.
Okay, thank you so much. Whoever, I'm sorry for the glitches in the beginning. I know 7 people are there. I hope you enjoyed the session, and I
You're very
certainly enjoyed it. And you're more than welcome to connect with me. You have my number. If you don't have, I don't know, I can pass it on. Can I type it somewhere? You can always be in touch with me. I'll be happy to answer them anytime. I don't know, I can't see where I can type. Okay.
So I believe it's the same number that we messaged you on for the link, right?
Yeah. So anybody who's here should have my number. So, but do keep the time lag and thing. If you send me a WhatsApp, I will certainly reply to you and maybe guide you. Yeah. So all the best to you, and I think the session has been recorded. It needs to be, anybody can help me technically in, I need to talk to my friends. I did 3 seminars before, and all of them, 2 of them were recorded, but I can't retrieve them. I hope I can retrieve this today for the benefit of everybody. And
So I could always help you out.
okay, thank you. And okay, then and you are?
So Anju Gupta.
Okay, thank you. And
You the
uh,
number for the gentleman in San Francisco for my sister,
uh,
and so we can.
yeah, I want to actually edit it, and so that it can be circulated to other people who could not join. But I want to make it as a regular feature of every first and third Saturday, replicating what I used to do at Crime Against Women Cell. I can sit down in the comfort of my office and address the people worldwide, whoever needs my whatever expertise I have, I can share that. And
That would be great.
I'll be replicating it. I've already declared my intention of doing it. So, once again,
So are
thank
you
you
saying
so
that
much.
these could be like live sessions? That if, say, for example, a couple wishes to seek your guidance and stuff, they can actually connect with you. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I can consider that, but this what I'm saying is, I will be conducting similar seminar, this talks on every first and third Saturday, pro bono.
Got it.
Pro bono,
Got it.
I'll be conducting, and for the benefit of society, so that something people may remember me after I'm gone. So, and
I'm sure they will.
yeah,
You're doing a phenomenal job.
mm, yeah, thank you so much. Uh, मैंने तो शेर भी लिखे थे, अब वो I don't know how many people will understand that. वो क्या है, you would appreciate that all these, my method is totally different. I don't go into theories. Theories is at the back of it. दुनिया में है सुखनवर बहुत अच्छे, दुनिया में है सुखनवर बहुत अच्छे, पर कहते हैं कि गालिब का है अंदाज़े बयां और. So I consider myself as गालिब of mediation. और
So your
जो
USP, I would say, is that the very fact that you come across as somebody who's one of us and who people find very approachable and comfortable. Like, I think you spoke in a language which was so easy to relate with,
thank you
and
so much. Thank you
it's
so much.
it's informal, which is why one doesn't feel intimidated while sharing their deepest issues with you. So I think your approach is definitely working.
Thank you so much. Grateful for your kind words. So I think I'm getting messages, have lunch, so, and get my scolding as well for carrying on so long. Yeah,
Nay, sir, you've actually spent so much of time with us. Really, really grateful.
thank you.
And I will definitely connect with you
Yeah,
and get the numbers and however which way I can help
I
you,
need
I'll
to
be happy
get
to.
this editing done fast. I think I'll be getting in a lot of messages, and earlier
Right.
also got messages to share the whatever happened. Yeah. So
Okay, sir. So let me connect with you one on one, and then we can discuss this.
yeah, give me a WhatsApp number, but after
I'm
1 hour, I need to get my
sir,
schooling
मैसेज
done
कर रही
first.
हूँ आप देख लेना कोई दिक्कत नहीं
Yeah. Thank you,
ठीक
everybody.
है और
Thank you so much,
थैंक यू बाय
and thank you for
Thank
being here.
you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Great session.
Pleasure,
थैंक
pleasure,
यू
everybody.